to the show, everyone. Everybody loves when I do that, and so do I. And I'm excited about today. We're going to be melding sort of two of my clients together that actually, when they do it, it's perfect harmony. Okay, I have with me, first I have Scott Fischer. He is the owner of Options for Senior Living. I also have with me Jennifer Kramer, who's the owner of Legal Stuff. And you know, we're combining you together for a reason, because as we have aging parents, aging loved ones, and stuff starts to happen. First of all, they start seeing how maybe mom and dad are not doing too well. Or even before that, Jennifer, that people in general, when they turn 18, should be having an estate plan.
Absolutely.
Okay, I want you to get up on that mic.
Okay.
First, talk a tiny little bit about you and yourself and what you do. It's awesome what you do.
Thank you.
And I want you to explain how it melds so well with Scott and Options for Senior Living.
So I have Legal Stuff, which does estate planning documents. We also administer probates and trust administrations. I'm also a licensed fiduciary, so if you don't have someone to administer your estate, I can do that. I'm licensed with the state of Arizona to make sure that your estate's taken care of and it goes where you want it to go. And I'm also tasked with the fact when something happens, I will make sure you're taken care of, or I will find somebody like Scott to find us a place for you to be taken care of.
Right, now, there's a big problem there, is because if you don't have your stuff, your legal stuff, your estate plan done, if you don't have, what is it, the one paper?
The power of attorneys.
Power of attorney, if you don't have that, what happens?
You're going to court and you're gonna end up, your estate's gonna be depleted by attorneys and the fees and the time that it takes just to get someone appointed to take care of your bills or to make sure your decisions are made.
So, normally, Scott, you were saying to me, because I thought it was the other way around,
Right.
you know, but explain what it's like for people, because you work with them every day.
Right. Well, it's good to see you, and thanks for.
Yes, and Happy New Year to
Hey,
both
good to
of
see
you,
you. And by the way, I was literally on the Arizona Attorney General's website yesterday printing off the life care planning packet for my two 23-year-old twins who have not yet filled out their powers of attorney. And I'm like, all right, we've asked you guys to do this for 5 years. I'm just going to do it for you. So,
But they only have health care, they don't have the financial.
that's correct, and you have to go elsewhere to get the financial
Right.
powers. Anyways, to answer your question, oftentimes over the years, those individuals, licensed fiduciaries like Jennifer, have called me when they've had a client or a ward that's under guardianship that is needed to be placed and found in a safe situation, and we've had some situations that we've solved together. It is critical when I've worked with families that I ask them straight up front, who's the decision maker, who's legally in charge of this situation. Husbands and wives, adult kids, blended families can be a nightmare. I'm a blended family. I have, adult children and a wife, and I hope that they always get along and see eye to eye, because if they don't, and we want to have all these things spelled out in advance, because Jennifer's absolutely right. People end up in court against each other. Families are ripped apart by these issues when authority isn't designated. Even in my own mom's passing a couple months ago, she wouldn't tell us what to do with her when she was gone. Just cremate me and leave me alone. And so I have brothers that feel like she needs to be in a final resting place. I have brothers that don't care. This brother said mom didn't care, so I don't care. So it's been a conflict with families, right?
Right, yep, it always
Jennifer,
causes a rift.
One of the things that you said, that you had a story of telling me before even Scott arrived here, was that they were calling to get some information, and the person says to the other person says, I don't know, I don't care, leave me alone. Now that's awful. That to me sounds awful.
We live in a place now where there's so many people that are medicated, and the medications really have an effect on people's personalities. And I believe they turn a lot of elderly people bipolar, and they end up alienating their children, and the children don't understand the mental issues dealing with the elderly and dealing with these medications, and so they literally just back off. And that's right, this one lady, the rehab center wanted to get her discharged and no one would take responsibility for her.
That's sad.
I
Now,
know.
one thing that Jennifer wants to do today is to give away, it's a trust package. It's a $1,495 value, and it comes with everything. I mean, I can go through it. It's a revocable living trust, a power of attorney. There's 3 of those that it
Right.
includes. The pour over will, and also the last directives, 5 wishes, which is really cool. We can talk about that a little bit later, and a deed to transfer home if there's a home. And we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered into win this. And let me just tell you, everybody should have this. I mean, it's just so important. And the papers that you need, don't say you don't just have any money or anything like that. I hate that when people say that.
I know, but that trust package will avoid the probate, and it'll really answer a lot of questions for people like Scott and anybody else that gets involved.
So we're gonna let everyone call throughout the rest of the show for this. Maybe it's you or someone that you know. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Check them out. First of all, Scott, you've been doing what you do for an awful long time, and I absolutely love how you help families, both of you, the way that you do. When we're dealing with the elderly and there's children involved and family involved, sometimes it can get really hairy.
Oh, absolutely. We're working closely together with the City of Scottsdale's Fire Department on a project. They've had a program for years called Home Safe Home, and it's the city's effort to reach their residents, support them in their often aging. They're calling the fire department, as you guys know, regularly, to the tune of 5,000 times last year. The trucks rolled just in Scottsdale to people's homes.
Wow.
5,000 times.
Just in
at
Scottsdale.
$1,400 a pop.
Wow.
All right. So the department has now entered into an agreement with a group called the Right Care Ministry, Right Care Foundation. And this week, we've been in training all week with the fire department, with local churches, with senior living providers. My team and I have been trained by the Right Care methodology, which has been researched over 26 years, involves 72,000 clinical evaluations and assessments. And we have access to a safety tool and a tool that measures many other things, but 144 data points in people's homes. We can help you with all kinds of things, because to get a good look at what's going on inside people's homes. I say all that to say this. We want you to call us before a crisis. We want to talk to you before
please.
Things get out of hand.
Yeah.
But we're here for you at any time.
Now you can check him out on his website, which is optionsforseniorliving.com. Their phone number is 602-845-1320, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau as well. Now, Jennifer, your website, which I love, it's legalstuffaz.com, and you can also call her direct at 602-457-2333, or call us here, get entered in to win the trust. That would be awesome for anyone that gets that. You'd be so happy that you have it. It gives you peace of mind. 602-277-5369. Check us out. Call us here and get entered in to win. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute.
And I'm so glad you brought up the gift, because I was literally thinking about offering our team to go out and meet with maybe 3 families in the next 30 days to do an in-home assessment.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
This
Nice.
thing's tops to bottom, no charge. We just want to, if you've got a loved one that's having a challenge, call the office and we will schedule one of us to go out and do the scoring thing. Jeff, you blow your mind what this guy's research.
I love that, Scott,
And
City of Scottsdale. This is the first I've heard of it.
This is all, we are rolling it out now. Yesterday we were with senior living groups in the morning, group homes, Clearwater, Cadence, Revel. They were there because we want them to be on board with the methodology, one, so that they can care plan
Right.
better, consistent with the care plan that I'm going to do out in the field for them, or my girls are going to do in the field with them. people go to assisted living, and actually when they score them, their scores go up. They get worse. But they come out of rehab and they get worse. Well, why is that? You're shaking your head because they don't do anything. They just put my mom in rehab for 3
Medicated.
weeks and did nothing for her, and it killed her.
Yep.
So the point is, if we can reduce the scores, we can impact, and there's thresholds of the scoring that statistically mean something. So if you stay below 40, we won't be in the hospital. Above 40, you're heading in the hospital. It's just a matter of when. Below 40, between 24 and 40, 50-50 chance. Below 24, you're pretty all right. And so I was out seeing a husband and wife and scoring them, and she scored 30. He's got about a 17 or an 18. We had a wonderful time, talked about what we can do to reduce their scores. They wanted to take me to Greyhawk for dinner. We go over across the street to where they live right there. Go over to Greyhawk. After dinner, she falls in the bathroom, and I got to go in the bathroom and scoop her up, save the fire department a trip. But she's on a scooter chair all the time because she has MS.
Oh.
And
So
she-
now that she did that, what happened to her score?
Oh, it'll even go more. I mean, I'm like, I gotta
It'll
go back,
go up.
I gotta call her and go, yeah, should we, like, you guys wanna stay home for
Gosh,
another
you didn't
year?
break your hip.
Right.
No, it's really time.
Yeah.
If you're
It's
falling
always
out of your
time.
chair.
Oh, and he's got mild dementia, so he's got mild cognitive
That's where I'm
dementia.
at Greyhawk, did you know that?
Are you really? Just could've seen you on the patio the other night. I love that patio.
Me too. Yeah.
So, but thank God for the city.
Oops.
City is seeing the need. They have to mitigate this thing. And Lori Stauffer is the director of public information at the fire department. She's awesome. And she's really quarterbacked this Home Safe Home program and get it going. Yeah.
I know a lot of people in North Cave Creek are.
So welcome back, everyone. You know, we're live on Facebook in here, so hi to everybody out there. During the break, we were sitting here talking. You could talk for hours about this subject.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so important. Number one, it's important that that people do get an estate aid trust. Something, you guys have to have something. You don't realize what happens as we get older, and when it's too late, then it becomes very difficult for Jennifer to be able to do her job for you in a good way. And then,
Absolutely.
of course, you know, with Scott, that, you know, when it gets tough, when you know when to go, when not to go, or when you think you don't wanna go, but you need to go, that's probably a good one to say that. Now, Scott, you're offering, and I'm gonna, we have our lines open here.
Sure.
And one of the things that Scott would like to offer is that 3 families would be able to get at no charge an assessment to know what is going on, looking in and really coming in there. Tell them what that
Right.
looks
Well,
like.
if you have a loved one that you're concerned about, a spouse or parents, and you would like an objective, data-supported assessment tool done, no charge to you, we'd like to come out and give you a strong look inside the house, and we look at various aspects of the individual. Of course, their safety in their environment. We look at how medical conditions are being managed, what kind of burden of care issues are at hand, quality of life issues, and of course their autonomy and independence. How well are people doing on their own, or how can they get their own needs met? This gives us data so that families can make informed decisions. In the past, we've gone out to families' homes and we've seen the mess, but there's been no way to objectify it or give somebody a data report.
Now there is.
This tool has been validated over 20 years, 70,000 times. In here in Arizona, it's the first of its time it's ever been here in Arizona. We get to be the tip of the spear and work with the city and various churches to bring this to the community here in Phoenix.
And you that are listening to Networking Arizona are the first ones to be able to
You got it.
have this, it's a tool that's gonna give you data that they've never really had
That's
before, and hands-on with that. So 3 families are gonna win at no charge. The assessment, it's 602-277-5369. Also, we've got our lines open here for everyone to get the full entire trust that Jennifer is giving away. That is a $1,495 value, free to you or anyone that you know, and it includes everything. Also, she does give 30% off to anybody that doesn't win, so you're a winner no matter what. And so our number here again is 602-277-5369. Call us here. We're gonna let everyone do it throughout the rest of the show. Okay,
Okay, I
So-
wanna encourage the kids to take advantage of Scott's offer. You know, the problem we have is children, you get so many children. You got the ones that are the realists, that understand things, you got the sympathetic, and you got the ones that just stick their heads in the sand. Stop doing that. If you've got the information, you guys, just keep an eye out for your parents. It's gonna be us one day.
Right.
And we've gotta train our kids and train people how to look out for these things. The parents are not gonna like it when they're told what to do, because they've been independent for so long, but when you have the data to back it.
Well, and the idea is not necessarily to give you validation to move somebody out of their home.
Right.
What we want to do is get a clear snapshot of what we're doing, and we've been talking for months, Carol, about my emphasis now is on aging in place safely. And so if you're already in senior living, call me, we'll come score you at your senior living. But if you're still at home, we'll score you and help build a plan to keep you safe at home
Exactly.
based on data.
This particular tool that he's talking about is new. It's just being brought out here in Arizona. So get in on it, because having not, you know, when you're talking to your parents, it's also for you yourself to understand. Numbers seem to, you know, work
Right.
better with people when it comes, and you see that you are 40% or whatever that is, and you see that you're that close to where you're gonna be going. You can do things that maybe can keep them in the home a little bit longer. You know,
Well,
maybe there's some
and-
things they can do.
Yeah, and you know who's really got a handle on a lot of these individuals? The churches. People go to church, they're part of the church communities and faith communities. And so part of this has been largely done out of in the Houston area, with churches as a foundation, as a ministry partnership with care providers in the greater Houston area. It's been widely successful. It's why we're here, to partner with the city of Scottsdale and bring it to faith communities. So if you are listening and you are part of a faith community, give us a ring. Call me at my office, call Carol and let her know. We'd love to connect our Right Care team to your ministry partner team and create a partnership that serves your community.
So call in here, and everyone's getting entered to win. The three families are gonna win this, and our number here is 602-277-5369. Call in for the trust. This is, you know, either one. I mean,
Yeah.
both. I don't care. Just call in, because this is
Giveaway,
this
giveaway
is
Wednesday, Aaron.
yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, it's just, it helps you, and everything that you get here from what we're talking about is peace of mind. Really, it truly
Well, what
is.
I wanna know, Scott, is do you take them on a driving test?
I would love.
Is it part of your evaluation?
My good friend Kimberly Akers, who owns a home care business in Chandler, has a whole program about that. But I do not take them on the driving
My
part of that.
goodness.
I would.
That might be a little
That's
scary.
probably the hardest
That's
part.
frightening.
That's the hardest thing to.
Yeah, my mom fought back after she took, wrecked her car and bent the rims and all that. I'm like, Mom, you banged into BMWs, you had multiple fender benders, and now you're up on the curb on Mesa Drive. Couldn't we just? Here's how Uber works. Is what we went to Uber.
You know, you could laugh. You guys have been around this
Yeah.
world, but you know, when it's the family members, it gets very frustrating, and they don't understand. I think that's the biggest part of it, and they think that, you know, you might look like you're doing really well, but there's things that show evidence that you're really not.
Or they live out of state and they're only doing that
That's
FaceTime
another
for 5 or
problem.
10 minutes once a week, and they're not seeing those changes.
Well, too many times, seniors go to the doctor and they're good at keeping it together for about
yeah.
10, 20 minutes. Doc doesn't stick around more than about 7 or 8 on the visit. Needs Jennifer or people like Jen to go with them sometimes to be that interfacing individual, not the family. Because I was sitting in the client's house the other night and he's like, I don't tell them anything. I don't want them to know that anything's wrong. And I'm like, what's the point of going to the doctor if we can't get the right
They're afraid.
attention and care
They're
for you?
embarrassed.
Right.
They're afraid.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Fear and shame are really tough
Yeah.
to overcome.
Yeah. Now, Jennifer, I want you to kind of talk a little bit about what it's like when you work with families. You always have stories for us, and you know, I think that it's important for them to hear how hard it is for you when it gets to that point where your hands are tied.
Well, and I want them to know that even if they're out of state, there's somebody here that'll watch out for their parents.
That's what's cool.
That's what's
A
important.
fiduciary, I mean, this is not just somebody who's babysitting mom, or dad. It's very different.
Well, and there's a lot of different fiduciaries. There's larger companies that are more of just crossing the, T's and dotting the I's, and they don't really take into effect the person. I'm very person oriented. I want what's best for my client, and what I try to get to know them before they decline so much that they don't, so I know their needs, and I'm making sure that they get what they really wanted.
Right, and not only just with their money, but with the home.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep, entertainment, whatever they want, their activities, I want to keep them active and independent as long as possible.
Right, but there's also, we've talked about these stories about kids who they're kids, unfortunately, and I don't know why, but kids take advantage of their parents.
When the parents have enabled them for most of their lives and given them all the money and bought them the cars.
Oh, you know what I'm doing next week? I'm going to go. A nurse friend of mine is a patient advocate. Essentially, she's going in. She spends some time with this individual. She lives with her 60-year-old son, who hasn't worked in 6 years.
See?
So guess who's not real happy? Placement guys coming over to do an assessment. We're going to do a scoring and give them a clear picture of what's going on. But the adult son's pretty hot. He's got a camera in the room. He's already filming my buddy that's over there helping as the advocate. So the son's very protective because
Might lose his home.
livelihood.
He's living there, and that's mom's life, his livelihood. Yeah.
I had a son that the mom passed away, and he basically drained her account and kept living off of it for at least a year and a half. And then he ran out of money, and now he had to do probate, and there's the sister in California. She's like, you've been living there for free? Living off mom for years? So, yeah.
It's heartbreaking. Just the amount of, there's so many good families, and we're talking about, that handful that's, that makes you crazy.
Right.
For 20 plus years, I've been running around in these spaces, and by and large, most families love their loved ones, they love their parents. Kids want to honor their mom and dad. I can tell you lots of great stories of kids loving their, but it's the mess that we have to deal with so much.
So starting off with, again, the estate plan,
Please.
having that trust, making sure those papers are done and done correctly. We've talked a little bit about that. If you even have one, you can even take it out. Do you do second opinions?
I do.
So, you see, take it out, dust it off, check it off, because we got talked about that. We could talk about that when we get back. And our number here is 602-277-5369.
Like the 5 wishes and the last directives?
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of family that argues about those?
That have what about those?